Imagine a world where the very fabric of reality is woven from a loom of numbers, a silent architecture of vibrations that dictates everything from the spiraling dance of a distant galaxy to the rhythmic beating of a human heart. We are taught that numbers are merely tools for counting, sterile symbols used to measure the material world. But Nikola Tesla, a man whose mind operated on a frequency unknown to his contemporaries, saw them as the luminous bones of God. He famously declared that if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, the 6, and the 9, then you would have a key to the universe. This was not the idle rambling of an aging inventor, but the desperate summation of a lifetime spent peering behind the curtain of the physical realm. Tesla lived in a state of perpetual resonance, a man who could visualize entire machines in high-definition mental clarity before a single bolt was turned. And it was within this hyper-lucid state that he identified a recurring numerical anomaly that seemed to govern the flow of energy itself. To understand the gravity of this claim, one must first abandon the linear logic of modern arithmetic and enter the realm of vortex mathematics, a theoretical framework where numbers are not quantities but qualities of movement. In the standard base 10 system we use today, a pattern emerges when we examine the doubling of numbers, a process that mirrors the cellular division of life and the binary expansion of digital information. Start with 1 and double it, you get 2. Double 2 and you get 4. Double 4 and you get 8. From here the pattern shifts into the digital root, the sum of the digits of a number until only 1 remains. Double 8 and you get 16, whose root is 7. Double 16 and you get 32, whose root is 5. Double 32 and you get 64, whose root is 10. Then 1. This cycle 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 repeats into infinity, creating a rhythmic pulse that defines the physical world of biological growth in crystalline structures. Yet in this endless loop of physical manifestation, 3 numbers are conspicuously absent: the 3, the 6, and the 9. They stand apart like silent sentinels watching over the chaotic motion of the other digits. Tesla believed these numbers represented a higher dimension, a vector from the 3rd to the 4th dimension, which he called a flux field. This field is the source of all energy, a non-physical void from which the electricity that powers our world is merely a byproduct. Tesla's obsession with these figures bordered on the liturgical. He would walk around a block 3 times before entering a building, wash his dishes with 18 napkins, a multiple of 9, and stay only in hotel rooms with numbers divisible by 3. While skeptics dismiss this as obsessive-compulsive disorder, those who study his more esoteric papers suggest he was attempting to align his own biological frequency with the fundamental harmonics of the Earth. He viewed the 3 and 6 as the yin and yang of the universe, the binary poles of a cosmic engine, while the 9 was the singularity, the absolute, the zenith of the numerical hierarchy. If the 3 and 6 represent the fluctuating currents of energy and magnetism, the 9 represents the void that contains them both. This is the geometry of the unseen, when you begin to map these numbers onto the shape of a circle. The 360 degrees of a sphere, or the precise frequencies of the solfeggio scale, the coincidences become too mathematically consistent to be ignored. The deeper one descends into this numerical rabbit hole, the more the lines between ancient mysticism and cutting-edge physics begin to blur. Ancient civilizations, from the builders of the Great Pyramid of Giza to the Vedic scholars of India, utilized the 3-6-9 ratio in their sacred architecture and cosmological models. Is it possible that Tesla did not invent a new science but rediscovered a lost primordial language? He spoke of a primary substance that filled all space, an ether that could be tapped to provide limitless energy to the world. He envisioned a global wireless system that would not only transmit information but provide power to every soul on Earth, free of charge. This vision was underpinned by his understanding of resonance, the idea that every object has a natural vibration, and if you hit that frequency with the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9, you can unlock the energy trapped within the atom itself. He was touching the very hem of the universe's garment, threatening to pull back the veil on a power that could either liberate humanity or turn the planet into a cinder. Yet, as Tesla neared the completion of his most ambitious projects, he found himself increasingly isolated. His financial support withdrawn by those who realized that a world with free energy was a world they could no longer control. He retreated into the shadows of the New Yorker hotel, clutching his secrets like a priest protecting a dying flame. He hinted at a discovery so profound that it would render all known physics obsolete, a revelation concerning the relationship between light matter and the numerical code he had spent his life deciphering. He spoke of the Earth as a giant capacitor, an electrical system that could be triggered by the right harmonic sequence. The mystery of the 9, he suggested, was the final piece of the puzzle, the point of stillness at the center of the storm. To understand the 9, one must look at the way it interacts with all other numbers. In the digital root system, 9 is essentially the numerical equivalent of a black hole or a mirror. Add 9 to any number, and the resulting digital root remains the same as the original number. For instance, 5 plus 9 is 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. It is the only number that behaves this way, appearing to be both everything and nothing simultaneously. It is the all-encompassing digit. Tesla perceived this as the mathematical representation of the spirit or the source. While the 3 and 6 are the oscillating vibrations of the physical world, the 9 is the axis upon which the entire universe rotates. This is why he believed that by mastering these 3 specific numbers, one could gain mastery over time and space. We are currently living in an era where we are just beginning to catch up to Tesla's 19th century insights. Quantum entanglement and the study of zero-point energy are beginning to echo the very things Tesla wrote about in his private journals. As we peel back the layers of this mathematical mystery, we find that the 3 minus 6 minus 9 sequence is not just a quirk of our counting system, but a blueprint for the way energy organizes itself. Consider the structure of an atom, the cycles of the moon, or the precession of the equinoxes. The numbers 3, 6, and 9 appear with a frequency that defies statistical probability. Tesla saw the universe as a complex musical instrument, and these numbers were the chords that produced the melody of existence. He was convinced that the human brain, if properly tuned, could access the information stored within the ether, a cosmic internet of sorts. This leads us to the most chilling aspect of Tesla's work, the suggestion that our reality is not solid but a holographic projection of frequency and vibration. If you can change the frequency, you can change the reality. The question remains, what was the final revelation Tesla intended to share? Before his death in 1943, he claimed to have perfected a teleforce weapon and a means of communicating with other worlds, all based on his harmonic theories. Much of his work was seized by the government in the wake of his passing, labeled top secret and hidden from the public eye for decades. Was the 3 minus 6 minus 9 code the foundation of a technology so advanced that it was deemed too dangerous for a world still gripped by the fires of war? We are left to wonder if the key he spoke of is still waiting for a mind brilliant enough, or perhaps bold enough, to turn it. The deeper we go into the math, the more we realize that Tesla wasn't just building machines. He was mapping the soul of the cosmos. He saw the universe not as a collection of objects, but as a symphony of numbers, and he was the only conductor who could hear the music clearly. The implications of the 9 as a singularity point suggest that the universe has an inherent reset button, a mathematical equilibrium that prevents the system from spiraling into total entropy in vortex mathematics. The 9 is the top of the triangle, the apex that balances the 3 and the 6. If we visualize energy as a fluid, the 3 and 6 are the currents flowing back and forth, while the 9 is the reservoir that holds them. This geometry is found in the very shape of our galaxies and the spiral of our DNA. Tesla knew that if he could tap into that central reservoir, the 9, he would have access to the infinite power of the vacuum. This is the secret he took to his grave, a secret that whispers to us from the patterns of the world around us. As we look at the modern digital landscape, the binary code of zeros and ones seems like a primitive dialect compared to the sophisticated numerical poetry Tesla was describing. Our computers operate on the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 sequence, the physical side of the equation. We have yet to truly integrate the 3, the 6, and the 9 into our technology. If we did, we might move beyond silicon chips and wires into a world of pure crystalline energy and instantaneous transmission. Tesla's vision was of a world where humanity was no longer tethered to the ground by the weight of its own ignorance, but could instead sail upon the invisible waves of the ether. He saw a future where every home was its own power plant and every mind was connected to the collective intelligence of the universe. The mystery of the 3 minus 6 minus 9 is not just about math. It is about the realization that we are part of a living, breathing mathematical organism. Every breath we take, every thought we think, and every star that burns in the night sky is governed by these same harmonic ratios. Tesla's life was a testament to the power of a single mind to pierce the darkness and find the light. He was a man who lived in the future, waiting for the rest of us to arrive. And as we begin to decipher his notes and reconstruct his experiments, we find that the key he left behind is not just for opening a door to free energy, but for opening the door to our own potential. The revelation he promised is not a destination, but a journey into the very heart of what it means to exist. Consider the geometry of a snowflake or the arrangement of petals on a flower. These are not random occurrences, but the result of a mathematical mandate. The 3, the 6, and the 9 are the hidden hands that shape the frost and the bloom. When Tesla looked at a thunderstorm, he didn't just see a weather event. He saw a massive electrical discharge that could be harmonized and directed. He understood that the Earth itself has a heartbeat, the Schumann resonance, which vibrates at a frequency that is a harmonic of the 3-6-9 system. By aligning our technology with this natural rhythm, he believed we could live in perfect equilibrium with the planet. This was his magnificent dream, a marriage of science and spirit that would elevate the human race to a new level of consciousness.